Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Wisdom Seekers University. Y'all already know what it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and run a song to y'all right quick. You know what I'm saying? Check me out.
Beat man by 100. What's wrong with the world nowadays? It's like the farther you go, the harder they try to bring you down. It's like don't nobody want to see you make it. I'm trying to tell you, they don't want to see you make it. They be praying against you daily. They be talking down, they want you down and out, preferably deceased. I know you hate to see me increase. Bow down to my altar, the one and only Father. Call no man father. I came to do some light work, raise up the vibrations. I'm on vacation, the conversation is patience. Patience is a virtue, there was a two-way split. Double meaning, bring two things together like my mama and my daddy did when they had me, my sister and my brothers. It's mandatory that I love them and all my people. If you my enemy and you hate me, I'ma add you to the sequel. We can't be equal. Was a soldier to a warrior. I can't be no slave. I go to war for my principles. Soldiers go to war for anything. Tighten up, whose side you on? Hit them with the pressure, the top and blow. So don't worry about a thing, But if you ever cross me, Michael's gonna take your life. They ain't never kick it like this, they ain't never ever kick it like this. I be kicking it. Ain't nobody spitting like this. Ain't nobody really writing hits. Change the game forever for the better. That's the only way to make it permanent. Everything else is temporary. Mama said you ain't got no friends. They gon' move on when you get grown. Everybody want their own. They gon' leave you all alone. I'm trying to tell you, they don't wanna see you make it. They be praying against you daily. They be talking down, they want you down and out, preferably deceased. I know you hate to see me increase. Bow down to my altar, the one and only Father. I'm trying to tell you, they don't wanna see you make it. They be praying against you daily. They be talking down, they want you down and out, preferably deceased. I know you hate to see me increase. Bow down to my altar, the one and only Father.
Alright. Back with y'all once again. Y'all already know what it is. I already gave y'all some insight on what we're about to get into. So yes, Queen Calafia, or Khalifa, alright? It's a real thing, man. Everything been hijacked. So, let's see what she all about a little bit. Let's go ahead and go see what we're talking about right quick. Do a quick rundown. I think I already ran some of this down on another video. I can't really remember. That boy was about like 2.5 hours. I hope it didn't bore y'all too much. I hope y'all was able to pick some stuff out of it and go do your own research to actually help you understand how everything go together, right? But just to give y'all the clear summary right quick on what my thought process and what my angle is. My angle is that they got a Greek mythology showing some Greek women having a war with some Greek men, right? And that all the women were killed. And I guess some was taken prisoner or something like that, they say too, right? So what I'm trying to say is that these women they talking about are Calafia and her crew that was from the island of California. And they didn't like the fact that the Catholics and all the other people was coming over here trying to push their religion on us and all that. And so they went to war. And they was already going to war over there in Europe, as a matter of fact. And they also called her a Moorish lady, which is not all the way in itself good, but Moor just meant black, right? And they was going through the 30-year war back in the Gap, and it was basically the Christians against the I don't want to say exactly how it was, but yeah, it was. But basically, it was black against white. You may as well say not even necessarily white. You know what I mean? It's about Christianity and Catholicism against the native people. You see, the nature. They was trying to get people to follow them and worship them as gods and all that. That's where we get all these religions and stuff that we have right now today. And they came to the Americas trying to force it upon us, starting from the Virgin Islands and all that kind of stuff. All right, but let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get a general understanding of who she all about. First of all, it's saying the first appearance, or I guess when they knew about it, was in 1500. All right, off the bat. And you see under her name, or under her picture, it's a mural of Queen Calafia and her Amazons in the room of the Duns at the Mark Hopkins Hotel in San Francisco. All right? So understand off the bat, this is our stuff, this is our land. It's clearly a 100% black woman. All right? And it's well documented. It's not like they hiding it, all right? So people game. It's a Calafia or Calafia. It's a fictional character. First of all, it's not a fictional character, people. Introduced by writer Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo in his popular novel entitled Los Surgas de Esplendian, The Adventures of Esplendian, written around 1500. In the novel, Calafia is a pagan warrior queen who ruled over a kingdom of Arabic women living on the island of California, an island off the coast of Asia. Calafia is convinced to raise an army of women warriors and sail away from California with a large flock of trained griffins so that she can join a Muslim battle against Christians. Now, we understand that the Moors were also Muslims, as they say, and a lot of them are Muslims or follow Islam today, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to quote them on it, but I'm pretty sure they do. All right, they say it's called like the Berbers and all that stuff. All right, Muslim battle against the Christians who are defending Constantinople. All right, Constantinople is the first one that developed the concept of Jesus and all that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, go do your research on it. Do like I'm doing and click on it or whatever and see what's going on. But you have this thing called the Nicene Council. And they pretty much set up everything. All your pastors and stuff know. Ask them about Constantinople. In the siege, the Griffins harm enemy and friendly forces, so they are withdrawn. Calafia and her ally, Ridiaro, fight in a single combat against the Christian leaders. A king and his son, the knight Esplendian. All right, Calafia is bested and taken prisoner, and she converts to Christianity. She marries the cousin of Esplendian and returns to her army or whatever. All right, but nah, all that's bogus for the most part. So about her giving in and Christianity and all that kind of stuff, I guess that's what it can get a little platonic, to say the least. All right, let's see what else we can find out about her. Let's see. Calafia. But that really was the main idea, though. But I want to kind of go into some other areas, which I'll right quick to show. Let's show something right quick. Let's see what they pull up. The Amazonians. Look, Atlanta. That's something too. They might be in Atlanta. There might be some. It might have been a battle going on in Atlanta too. Hey, listen, because this is where it was going down at. It said Greek mythology, right? Let's check it out right quick. It say the Amazons were a race of female warriors in Greek mythology who dwelt in the region of modern-day Ukraine. Two of the best known Amazon queens were Penthesilea, who took part in the Trojan War, and her sister, Hippolyta, who was the owner of a magical girdle given to her by the god of war, Ares. The magical girdle was the object that Hercules had to recover to replace the fourth task given to him during the myth of the labors of Hercules. There were no men allowed to live together with the Amazons. However, in order to continue their race, once a year, the Amazons would visit a nearby tribe called Gargarians. After having sexual intercourse with them, the Amazons would return home. They would keep all baby girls that were born, but the male babies were either killed, sent to their fathers, or left in a forest to die of exposure to the elements. Now, this kind of sounds like the Moses story in the Bible, but it's kind of like it's just in reverse. You see, it said the Amazons appeared in various Greek myths. In one of them, they attacked the region of Lycia, but were fended off by Bellerophon. They later attacked Phrygia, but were also defeated by the defending army, led by a young Priam, who later became the king of Troy during the Trojan War. The Amazons, led by Queen Penthesilea, helped Priam defend his city. Penthesilea was killed by Achilles during a battle. All right, so y'all pretty much get it. So, they're saying it's mythology and all that, but they're bringing up the Trojan War. Why are they bringing up the Trojan War if it's mythology? And then look, when you look at this picture right here, I don't even know if they're gonna show it. They ain't gonna blow it up. But a blind man can see all those images are black as can be. Black as can be. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit so you can see. Can y'all see that? Black as can be. All right. It's one of the most well-known tales ever narrated, most notably in Homer's Iliad. The Trojan War is undoubtedly the greatest war in classical mythology, waged by an Arcadian alliance against the city of Troy. The war originated from a quarrel between three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, over a golden apple thrown by the goddess of strife at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. And it described with words for the fairest. Let's see, let's scroll down a little bit. For the fairest. Unwilling to settle the dispute himself, Zeus, here goes Zeus. Zeus sent the goddesses to Paris, the young prince of Troy, who gifted the most beautiful girl in the world. Aphrodite fulfilled her promise, and before too long, Helen eloped with Paris from a royal court in Sparta to the Trojan palace. Helen's husband, Menelaus, incited by his even more powerful brother, Agamemnon, assembled a large army of Achaean leaders, most of them obliged to protect the sanctity. Most of them obliged to protect the sanctity of his marriage by a previous oath. After the diplomat attempts to settle the dispute, early on yielded no result. The Greek forces surrounded the city of Troy and held it under siege for a decade. In the 10th year of the war, after the fighting had already taken the lives of some of the greatest heroes on either side, Achilles, Ajax, Patroclus, Protesilaus, Hector, Sarpedon, Menon, Synchonus, Odysseus, devised the ruse of the Trojan horse, which finally brought the downfall of Troy. The Achaeans raided the city and set it afire, slaughtering scores of innocent people and desecrating too many hallowed grounds to escape subsequent wrath of the gods. As a result, few of them managed to return safely to their homes, and those who did may have been the less fortunate ones. The background of the war, Peleus and Thetis. The genesis of the Trojan War goes all the way back to a divine love contest and a prophecy concerning the various foundations of the Olympian order. Namely, decades before it was commencement, both Zeus and Poseidon fell in love with a beautiful sea nymph named Thetis. Each of them wanted to make her his bride, but both backed away. They were told, whether by Themis or Prometheus, the dire consequences of such an action, for it was fated that the sea goddess should bear a princely son stronger than his father, who would wield another weapon, and his hand more powerful than the thunderbolt of the irresistible trident. If she lay with Zeus or one of his brothers, so as not to risk anything, Zeus decided to give Thetis hand in marriage to King Peleus, the most pious man living on the plain of the Locust. The apple of discord. Now, the husband was determined. What did it say? The apple of discord? Okay, there we go. The apple of discord. Now that the husband was determined, Zeus organized a grand feast in celebration of Peleus and Thetis' marriage. Why does stuff keep moving on its own? What is going on with this? Oh, that's something popped up and everything. Closed ad, but tripping. Back on up. All right, let's start over. They say now that the husband was determined, Zeus organized a grand feast in celebration of Peleus and Thetis' marriage, at which all the other gods were invited except for the disagreeable goddess of strife, Eris. Annoyed at being stopped at the door by Hermes before leaving the gathering, she threw a gift amidst the guests. It was the apple of discord, a golden apple, upon which the words for the fairies had been inscribed. Before long, I read it already. Sound like I read it already. All right, but yeah, y'all see what's going on. something about the apple and all that there. All right. And y'all say it's dealing with Zeus and all these people. So they say, right? And y'all know it's about the war. It's about a war, like the Trojan horse and all that. And it's supposed to be dealing with the goddesses, a beef between the three goddesses. And so it's going down. And I'm trying to tell y'all these goddesses is Cali and all these women. All right. So now let me take y'all somewhere else, show y'all something else. Well, I think I already showed y'all in the second part of this. So you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me see what I already have open for y'all. Let's see. I want to show y'all something. Let's just say Cali Warriors. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Khalifa. I think I can spell it like that too. Warriors. Let's see what they say about it. See what come up with images. Now you see, yeah, I want to show it. So I just put that in, and they ain't show nothing. You see that? Now, let's let you know that people don't really know about this stuff. Calafia, Black Warriors. Okay. Still just showing that one thing, right? But you going down, show a little bit more, but not really. All right. Let's see if I can put it the right way. I didn't know they had a movie on it either. They got a PDF file on it and everything. See, y'all get plenty of information about it. They know about it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people know about it. I know I'm probably spinning it all messed up, y'all, but they're gonna let me know what I need. We're still taking me back to the same thing. I'll try to read a little bit about the warriors or whatever that she had. They say her name was Calafia, Calafia. Is that why Wiz Khalifa got his name? Wiz Khalifa, aka Calafia or Khalifa, a black woman. Khalifa was a warrior, queen, strong, majestic, and most beautiful. And it says she ruled over what? Let's see what she ruled over. So this is another perspective right here. Let's read their perspective right quick. And then I'm gonna get up off this topic right here, man. And go to something else. All right, it said California named after a black woman. Our next real deal is a shero. Did you know that the state of California was named after a woman? Her name was Calafia, aka Calafia, a black woman. Khalifa was a warrior, queen, strong, majestic, and most beautiful, who ruled over a kingdom of skilled Moorish black women warriors who wore armor of gold in the island of California, aka Amazon, located off the southern coast of California, believed now to be Baja, which at that time was thought to be an island, a paradise full of gold and many other treasures. Let me blow this up for y'all so y'all can see. Like I said, was a warrior, strong, majestic, and beautiful. Okay, And it says, aka California, Amazon, located off the southern coast of California, believed now to be Baja, which at that time was thought to be an island, a paradise full of gold and many other treasures. Like, think about the gold rush and stuff, y'all. See, we got to understand that this stuff happened later than what they said happened. It happened way later. So that we talking about the gold rush and stuff like that when they was going to California. That's what we talking about. They was trying to go over there where these women was at. All right. It's a treasure. It is said that she ruled over and traveled to many scattered islands in the Pacific Ocean with her fleet of ships. So she had ships as well, to include that it's now known as the Hawaiian Islands, all right, which were later united and ruled by King Kamehameha, a black man. Another story for another time. In the year 1510. See, they're giving you dates about how these people were actually doing this, and you see how they try to write it off. Oh, it was just a myth, or it was just this, or it was just it was really going down, and it was our people that was over here that was doing this here. Like, we've been traveling from Brazil and Americas and all around the world, man. We've been running things. We've been doing our thing. You see, But okay, but anyway. 1510, they was running things. It said Calafia was depicted in the novel by a Spanish writer, Garcia Rodriguez. The Montalvo must be this white boy right here. She is also known and regarded as the spirit of California, and a huge mural of her image hangs in the Mark Hopkins. All right, so listen, look, y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what's going on. They came looking for gold. Then they saw those beautiful women up there. They were butt naked. Cool, man. Hotel in San Francisco, California. It said it is self-evident that she is the inspiration of the Wonder Woman. Wow. She is the inspiration of the Wonder Woman series. So when y'all see the Wonder Woman, we're talking about Calafia. All right? Y'all get it? Y'all see what's going on? And they say, and also the Queen of the Amazon story. Okay, so she's the queen of the Amazon story as well. So when you hear the Greeks and stuff talking about the Amazons and all this stuff in the mythology, and that it was a big war going on, and blah, blah, squads, they talking about what was really going down, that they was over there really whooping shit, that they was really over there, they really had a war. You understand? All right, it's a Bass Reeves, it's a Queens of Heaven story. It's in much the same way how the story of Bass Reeves was appropriated, plagiarized, and whitewashed with the Lone Ranger. Y'all see what's going on? They tell you straight up that yes, it's true. It was whitewashed. So too is California's story, Califia's story. It's in 1941 by Wonder Woman writer William Moulton Marston. Some believed her to be fiction, but then why would one of the largest states in America be named after her? Why would Spanish conquistadors such as Cortez and other explorers travel to America all the way from Europe in hopes of finding her gold, and her riches? And what exactly did those Spanish explorers find when they came to what is known as California? Recorded in their handwritten logs, they found a copper-skinned colored people, indigenous, and native to the land, in which they call Indians. The original Native American Indian, and describe these people with a similar apt errance to the Negro in Africa. Wow. I believe that she, as others believe, was in fact a real person. In the olden days of Africa, African queens ruled and were most powerful. Stay tuned for our next real deal. All right? So y'all hear his opinion on it. Y'all see what's going down. Just like they said, Bass Reeves was the Lone Ranger, and they morphed that. They psyoped that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's serious business, and she wasn't no joke. And what did they say? They said about the Amazons. They said just like the story of the Amazons too. So that was the white people I was trying to show you. You know what? I'm gonna show you something right quick. Let me show y'all something. Show y'all how they be psyop. Show y'all what the psyop game all about. Watch this. Watch this. Watch the pictures they pull up. Amazon women. What did we put warriors? I think I was trying to show you something like this earlier. So I put Amazon warriors, right? And we keep going. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all this. This is not true. Y'all see it though? Look at this. Look. They gave, look, that's what the Black Panthers, and for y'all that don't know, that's what the Black Panthers is based on. See, they got y'all thinking Black Panthers, but y'all don't know, they talking about the Amazon women. They ain't talking about no Black Panthers like that, you understand? They talking about the movie Black Panthers. Y'all see what it's based on? The women, that black woman army that was out there. But y'all see how they psyoping it. Look at her. They got the white folks shooting the arrows and riding the horses and all this kind of stuff. Look at this. Look at this. This is what they do all the time because we ain't telling our own stories. We're not telling our own stories, but you look at the real deal right here. They got their faces on there, but these are black people. Even the men are black. It was husband and wife teams for the most part, they say. You know, they had companions as well now when they went to battle. But they did their own thing for the most part by themselves. And some of them end up going into the army and helping out, you understand? Because it was wartime. So, but look, real talk. And don't get it twisted now. The blacks was going against the, it was black Greeks or whatever on the other side. So, yeah. But y'all see what's going on though. Look at all this. Check it out. They're trying to psyop. Look at all beige, they kind of trying to tell the truth on this one. But it's black people. Now watch this. I want to show y'all this. This is what I'm trying to show you. So y'all see, if you just try to put it in like this, like, yeah, book was talking about some Amazon warriors, man, that they was black and all that, but man, I don't see what he talking about. I don't see them. So I'm saying, now let's put black warriors in there. And let's see what we come up with. Which is the originals. They're the originals. Yeah, they the originals. Check it out. Now, we get a little closer. We're getting a little closer to something. We're getting a little closer. There we go. Boom. Talk to me. Look, what they say. The Hummy Amazon warriors and Black Panther to come to life again. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, the brothers need to come to life again. The women been alive. They been out here. As we say. But y'all see what's going on right here. Y'all see what's going on. Now, let me show you something else. I'm just trying to show you how it all go together. Do your own research. Now let's see. Let's see. Woman. Army of Ghana. Let's see what we come up with. Let's see. I need to put Amazon. And then I keep on saying it over. See how Amazon hijacked. You see how all of them are hijacking the names and stuff like that, making money off our stuff, man. All right, look, let me go right here. Let me see what they say about that. Let me see what they say about this. See, in the other video, y'all see that they was talking about Ghana and all that when it comes to other people, right? When it comes to the fun people and all that stuff. Let's just see. They say something about Ghana. Here we go right here. We're talking about the same kind of people, though. That's what I want y'all to see. Let's see what they can come up with. Look, Amazon, I want to put something like that, man. Get your bitch ass out. All right, let's see. Let me see what they're going to show us. They don't like they really want to show us something. Nothing. Oh, they talking about this real Amazon. What's that? Military rule in Africa, Dahomey, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Mali. Okay, studies. Look at that. Ain't what I'm looking for. That's just a book or something. It just said, yeah, let's just go into it in a regular way. So you see, they related to the Dahomey. I already told y'all what the Dahomey was all about. I already showed y'all what the Dahomey people was all about. And the French and all that kind of stuff. And as a matter of fact, let me do that. Let me show y'all the Etruscans. Let me show y'all the Etruscans. Let me show y'all the Etruscans. For the ones that think it's a game. As a matter of fact, that's gonna lead me into the other stuff I want to talk about too. Because I already talked about the Etruscans before, right? Back in the past. But I'm gonna show y'all something. But these Etruscan people, alright? These the Etruscans. And we kind of been dealing with them. The Peckerwoods over there in Europe, they was dealing with them. They was dealing with them over there in Europe. Click on this picture so you can get some more of these black pictures. So look it up. These the Etruscans. All these people was running Europe. They was running Europe. These the black people that was running Europe. Yeah, check them out. Now you know what? I got something perfect for y'all. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Here we go. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I got something for you. This is from SolarRed.net. This from SolarRed.net. That's what this from. SolarRed.net. Anybody want to look it up? It's SolarRed.net. The Adoration of the Magi. The Adoration of the Magi. All right. So now, before we even get into this, when I first pulled this up, I thought about look, let me show you this. Define magic. Hey, just because they're the same color now don't mean that everything's all good. Now, I ain't saying that. I'm just trying to let us know what it is, what's really going on, what we was all about, right? And you still got to discern what's what. So you see the word magic, right? You see the word magic. So let's go on down. Look. It's a Latin English from Old French. Magique. From Latin, magicus. Adjective. Late Latin, magica. Noun from Greek. Magice, teke, art of a magus. Magi were regarded as magicians. Look, magi were regarded as magicians. All right, so these people were regarded as magicians. You see that? And we're talking about late Middle English, and we talk about Old French. Late Middle English, Old French. They were just saying something about the French and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, this thing about to get deep. Now, the first portion, I was just trying to show y'all, give y'all a briefing. I was just trying to show y'all how important the Queen of Cali was, and that she was a black woman, and that they basing all this mythology and stuff off her, and that they were some powerful, strong women, and that's why our women are so strong right now today. Our own black women. That's why they're so strong right now today, because they come from that bloodline. That's their bloodline. That's our bloodline. We always been at it, man. Like ever since from the beginning. Like, and it's historical records that they named the Indians black people or colored people or whatever the case, right? That we fell under that category of the African Americans. So everybody African Americans are the so-called Indians, but y'all know we wasn't Indians either. You know what I mean? We like the fun people. We like the we got all kind of names, man. We got all kind of names. And the homie, you already see that. You see the Amazonian, man, we got all kind of names. We got all kind of names. It's way before it's way bigger than the Cherokees and all this kind of stuff. Like, even though we might be those too, and we've been calling ourselves all those, but listen, man, most of this stuff that's named is our stuff. It's still got most of this stuff still hold the same names and everything. Like, it's like the story being reversed on us. But yeah, I just want to point out right quick that the magic were regarded as magicians. All right, so we talking about the magicians, we talking about the evil people, we talking about the serpents and all this kind of stuff. When it's dealing with religion, you really have to take a step back and see what's really going on. Let's see if it's the really truth they're giving us, or they making us go against our own people. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you weren't born with nothing, right? You was born with nothing but your own understanding, your own intellect. You know what I mean? All you know, you had to eat, sleep, and use the bathroom, and and pass it out. That's all you knew you had to do when you were first born. All right. So all this other stuff, as far as the religion and all that kind of stuff, y'all just got to be able to take a step back and see what it really is, and quit giving so much power to people who don't have no power at all. It's like we giving people a whole bunch of power and they don't even have power. Okay, so you see who they saying have the power, right? Okay, now look, they say that. So y'all see that that's the magic. So let's see where we're gonna go with this. So let's go on back to where we was at. Let's go on back to where we was at. Let's see if they take us back to where we was at. All right, now let's see. Now, this person right here, they say this is the art of Hieronymus Bosch, or adoration of the magic. So this is a magician. This is a magician, a black magician. Look at this brother, man. This brother got an S curve going on and everything, fresh to death. Like, look at him. Like, these people that's ruling things. Now let's see what it say under it. Let's see what it say under it. It say this picture was created in 1485 through between 1840. My bad. Between 1485 and 1500, and it say it's oil on panel. Occasionally from the 12th century, and very often in northern Europe from the 15th. The magi are also made to represent the three known parts of the world. Okay, the magi is also known to be made represented at the magi also are also made to represent the three known parts of the world. So the magi represents three known parts of the world. I wonder what they're talking about. And they say Balthazar is very commonly cast as a young African or Moor. Okay. So that links back up with Callie and all that, right? And her Moors, women and all that. So I told you everything was connected, and there was some kind of big fight that happened, man. It was a big beef, man. And it say an old Caspar is even Oriental features. We say an old Caspar is given Oriental features, all right? Or more often dress. So it's letting you know that it's also affiliated with the Asian. You remember when it was saying that it was next to Asia and stuff like that in California? That California was next to Asia, and they used to call it. They used to say it was next to the West. Yeah, I think they said West India or something like that. But yeah, man, it's all connected though. Like we was running things over there in China and all that stuff too. I'm sure a lot of people probably know that already, but yeah, let's keep on going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It said African or more, and Old Casper is given Oriental futures or more often dress. Mikor represents Europe and Middle Age. All right, from the 14th centuries onward, large routineers are often shown. The gifts are contained in spectacular pieces of goldsmith work, and the magic's clothes are given increasing attention. Fresh to death. Fresh to death. Now look at this person. Good and black. Good and black. Good and black. Look at the little European little babies and all that kind of stuff, man. We was taking care of them. We was taking care of them. For some reason, we let them in our kingdom. All right, anyway, it's the art of anonymous artist, Netherlands. The adoration of the magic detail. Netherlands, Belgium. This is in the Netherlands and Belgium in 1520. This is in the Netherlands and Belgium in the 1520s. All right, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for y'all. Let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit for you. So maybe y'all can read along. Hopefully it ain't too big for the pictures. All right, which is good. All right. So y'all should be able to see that a little bit better. All right, say by the 15th century, the adoration is often a bravura piece in which the artist can display their handling of complex, crowded scenes involving horses and camels, but also the rendering of varied textures, the silk, fur, jewels, and gold of the kings, set against the wood of the stable, the straw of Jesus' manger, and the rough clothing of Joseph, and the shepherds. So y'all see they slid Jesus in there and stuff some kind of way. Like, y'all know who were running things. And then y'all know who the king stuff was. All right. So you see the kings. They say they were kings and all that in the Netherlands. Look at this brother. That's a brother all day long. Look at the white boy in the background. Looking like he almost hating. Look at him too. Look like he's staring at him hating. Look at him now. Look at him. Look at him now. They running things. Look at what he holding. He holding something. Look at that. Look at that. It say the art of Jan Gazur, the ordination of the kings, 1510 through 15. Oil and oak. Now who this brother is? Look at this brother. Look at this brother. This ain't no almost black. This good and black. You understand? It's good and black. Oh yeah. I'm just saying. It's an anonymous artist. Netherlandish. The adoration of the Magi detail. Netherlands, Belgium, 1520. Okay, another brother. Look at him. Look at him. Another brother. Another brother. Look, what's going on, man? What's going on? All of them fresh to death, too. All of them fresh to death. They say the art of Bartholomeus Sprenger, Oration of the Kings, artwork, 1570s. This is in the 1570s, oil and canvas. Now, y'all know they say we was slaves around the 1611 now, when they say the slavery deal was going down. So that's what I'm trying to show you now. That's what I'm trying to show you now. They had something to do with this stuff too. It wasn't no white boy just running things and like they be trying to make it seem like they co-opting everything to make it to give importance to themselves. Like, hey, everything done under the sun was done by us, man. I'm just trying to say it. Even the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know. All right, now look. It's the art of Vizizo Fapa, adoration of the Magi, Italy. In 1490 to 1510, it's Italy. Y'all know that's Rome and all that. For the ones that don't know, it's Rome and all that. These people got the pictures. They showing you. They showing you what the deal is. Look at it. They say the art of Nicholas Poussin, the adoration of the Magi, 1663, detailed on canvas, France. All right. All right. So y'all already see what it is, man. Y'all see what it is. Y'all see what it is. All right. So let's see if we can get into some more details about the Magis. Check out some of these people. Put up some of these names. See what's going on. I was reading something over here. Let's see what we can pull up. They say you wouldn't believe it if you looked on the runway at the end of a campaign or heck, anywhere where people of color are buying more luxury cars than ever. Nielsen just released, okay. They talk about cars and, man, what are they talking about? Hate or something. What are they talking about? Let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's pull somebody's name up. Ain't no name, huh? You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know if we run there, somebody do it. All right, let's see. Say, Moorish kings of Europe. In 1520. Just say that. Let's say that. Let's see what come up. Let's see what come up. Let's look up some people, man. Let's check some folks out. Pull their cards. Let's see what some of these folks is, man. A lot of these people. Let's see who they are. Let's see who some of these people is, man. What's his name? They said they're gonna give us some names. We're gonna come up with right here. It don't look like this gonna show what I want. Like they just. Oh yeah, like it's gonna give me something. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a scroll right quick. Look at this, man. Look at all these people. All these black people. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all this. I know y'all probably saw some of these pictures before, but it ain't no game. It ain't no game. Look, this is all in Europe, people. This is all in Europe. Before the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and all that stuff. We was the Roman Catholic Church. All right, so now let's check out some of these people. I'm gonna give you some of these names. Give you some of these names. Let's check out some of these names. Yeah, they give it to me. This is, oh my goodness. This is, they say probably Charles V. They say this Charles V. Charles V. Let's check out Black Charles V, man. Everybody reporting back to Charles V. Look at all these folks, man. Let me see if I can get into some of these people another way, because they ain't gonna show me the pictures up close like I want to see them. But I click on it again. Here we go. Here we go. Who this is? This Saint Maurice. That's my brother name. That's Saint Maurice right there, good and black. Good and black. Hey, Germany, 1519. So when y'all hear Germany, don't just think white people. When y'all hear Germany, just don't think white people. Alamo, all that kind of stuff. It ain't all, hey, listen. People getting hijacked. Oh, there go another brother. Andrea Bustolo. Yeah, you see him. This is 1715, bro. This is 1715, Italy. This is in Italy, 1715. You understand? 1715. Way past time about the slavery stuff. Look, good and black. Good and black, well kept. Well kept. That's in 1516, 1525. In Spain, that was in Spain. That was in Spain. Look at this picture. Look at that one. They say that's a German artist, or they say Germany, 1490. Germany in 1490. They say polychrome and gilded wood, 60 millimeters, Saint Maurice. So it's Saint Maurice. That's Saint Maurice. All right. So look at this. So you see how this thing working. You see how this thing working. See they putting this up on top. See the white person in the top and everything, and they all in the mix, right? But they are in the mix. But you see who that is? I guess that's another Saint Maurice or somebody. Yeah, they keep on trying to call all of them Saint Maurice look like. I must have clicked on him, so I must have clicked on him. Let's see. Click out of this one. All right. Let's go to another one. Let's see who this is. Let's see who this is. All right, let's do it. Let's read a little bit. Let's see what some of this stuff say. It say the albino people and their neurotic fear of those not like them, most probably caused by bad suffering at the hands of blacks. Uh-oh. So they're trying to say they return the favor. Let's blow this up a little bit. Let's get into it. Let's start at the top. Let's say the art of medieval and Renaissance era, blacks in Europe. Art of medieval and Renaissance era, blacks in Europe. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably heard about the Renaissance era before, but I don't know if y'all, or the medieval times and all this stuff. But I don't know if y'all know that it was dealing with black people though. That's the problem. That's what they always leaving out. They just want to seem like it was all their history and the stuff when they teaching us in school, but they never tell us it's about black people that we was running everything. They start off with slavery. So it say the albino people in the neurotic fear of those not like them, most probably, even though that's not an absolute fact, but it's definitely pretty much a fact. Look what they do right now today. Black Wall Street and all that, they get jealous and start killing shit, trying to take us out. And they say most probably caused by past suffering at the hands of blacks, all right, whether real or imagined, have suffered a type of mass neurosis in which they have created a fantasy past, especially in Europe, where they are the native Europeans. They are actually Central Asians. And the world, wow, it said they done created a fantasy in their mind thinking that they from Europe and they ain't really from Europe and really they from Central Asia. And they say the world was solely populated, especially Europe, by albinos just like them. Whites are actually the least numerous of the three races by far. In their minds, albinos were the creators of all the world's great civilizations, and all the great heroes in history were albinos. According to their accordingly, they have created an official revision of history to reflect their neurotic fantasy. It is simply called history, meaning his story, by albinos, and laughingly his story by everyone else. Wow. So here we are dealing with black arts, with blacks in art, and what they, the albino people, have done with the blacks in art, that which survives. What they do is to declare those blacks pictured in European art as either slaves, servants, the mythical Saint Maurice, the biblical Magi, or most ridiculously, ambassadors of the King of the Congo. All right, it's as an indication of just how convoluted these albino nonsense this albino nonsense is. That Magi were the priests of the Persian religion of Zoroastrianism. Yet they claim that the Persians were albinos just like them, who, but a true neurotic, could envision something like that. A white society with a black priesthood. Newer versions of their fantasy gives a name to the black wise man of their whitenized Jesus fantasy. They call him Balthasar. And in this version, he is an Arabian scholar. This nimbly gets around the ancient Persians being blacks. But it conflicts with the current efforts to establish the Turks and the Turk mulattoes of Arabia and elsewhere as true Arabs. We have no explanation to why they willingly include blacks in their bogus, whitenized Christian artwork. Perhaps that is their one lucid acknowledgement of the great profusion of blacks there is in the world. Read this right. All right, it's another tactic that albinos use to falsify the true meaning of black artwork is to give it false and often derogatory titles. Whenever possible, we do deep research to uncover the original title of the painting. When that fails, we analyze the content of the painting to try and glean the original meaning. This analysis is annotated at the bottom of the picture. But still, many people cannot get their minds around the idea that our genetically defective albining. Is it starting to get cut off now? Let's see. I don't want to be going back and forth like that. I'm about to make it a little smaller. I'm going to go way on the other side. Let me make this smaller, y'all. So I ain't gonna better make it smaller right now. I'm gonna turn off my thing. All right, so let me see. I'm about to go ahead and go on down there and read like that. It said, but still, many people cannot get their minds around the idea that our genetically let's see, slide it over. Genetically defective albinos will have gone renegade after spending millennia in Central Asia and breeding among themselves instead of with normal people, and not only genocided, they replaced us, their creators, after they entered Europe, but repeated it to varying degrees in the Americas and East Asia. They say albinos are a greedy, ravenous, and murderous bunch indeed. To cover up their defective nature and monstrous deeds, the albinos created an elaborate fake story of themselves and creators. Us black people, supported by huge numbers of fake artifacts. These exhibits and logical exercises are intended as an aid to those confused. All right, y'all see what it's trying to say though, for the most part. All right, it's a Emory University, Voyages, the Transatlantic Slave Trade Database, History of the Project. For the 1960s, we don't need to read that. All right, let's get out of this, see what else we can find. Let's see what else we can dig up. Let's see what else we can dig up. They didn't show who this was. This person is Jacobus Elisa. Jacobus Elisa. Yeah, let me show y'all some of these pictures. So we about to get deep. Y'all. About to go a little bit deeper. That leads me into where I'm about to go into. So let's see if I can go, first of all. Let me see if I can get to a better picture so I can read some of these. I want to better read some of these. Let's see. Let's click out of this. Let's see who it is. St. Maurice. This is Jan Mostrates. Oh, this picture, I guess. Yeah, a picture of him. Let's see. What's all these people? Moors of European Renaissance. They said they show me some better pictures than this, so I can get some names. So listen, this was a Dutch painter, John Mostart. Now, y'all remember I was telling y'all in the first one and the second one or whatever, they were mentioning the Dutch and all that kind of stuff, and we dealing with the slave trade and all that. And they would have you to think that the Dutch is just white people, right? But y'all could clearly see that this man was Dutch. And y'all clearly know that they was the king and queens and stuff during that time. And the ones that know anything about history know that there was a war going on, and that they know that the black people was running Spain, well, all of Europe, the whole world really, for the most part, until we can start getting indoctrinated, man. I'm just being honest. All right, it's a Dutch painter, Jan Mustering, 1475-1556. Depicted a Moorish nobleman who was likely in the royal court of Margaret of Austria and Mainz. It's a other Moors of high social status posed for German artists. Operet Dürer, 1471-1528, and 1508-1521. While not much is known about the man, the woman's name was Katharina and from Athorp, Belgium, and is depicted with typically Moorish clothing of high regard, both of whom are depicted below. It's a portrait of an African man, features an unknown noble in Austrian court. All right. So yeah, we see what that is. We see what it is. All right, this is Albert Durer's A Portrait of an African Man. All right, unknown noble, 1508, housed in Albertina in Vienna. Another picture. This is an African woman. Her name was Katharina in 1521. It says some Moors had converted to Christianity in the Iberian Peninsula in the 1500s. Also became prominent figures in society, as shown in paintings below that depicts a busy scene in Lisbon off from a harbor. The man mounted on a horse in the foreground appears to be of the highest social status of anyone in the scene. The red cross on his cape most likely represents membership in the Order of Santiago, St. James of the Sword, wow, and Iberian military knighthood that dates to the 12th century AD. It is indeed documented that several Africans have been admitted to the order, including Luis Perez, 1550, Di Pedro de Silva, 1579, and Joy de Sapanasco, who was described in the 1547 Royal Court document as a Holman Prito Caballero Bimina Casa, or Black Knight, many in my house, 1547. So now you see that this court was booming. Look at all these people in the court. All blacks. You see a couple of whites or whatever, but you see who running things. You see who the nobles are. You see who running shit. I'm just saying. Right. It says several African Americans were kidnapped and later presented to royal families, eventually became educated and rose to prominent positions in the local society. Such was the case of Admiral Partridge Ganaba, 1696, 1771, who was better known as the great-grandfather of Russian literary hero Alexander Pushkin. Say Ganaba, is that cannibal? Well, they say cannibal, but they talk about cannibal, huh? Is of uncertain origins. Scholars commonly believe he was born in either Eritrea, Ethiopia, or Cameroon, but is known to have been kidnapped at the age of 7 by Ottoman slave traders and taken to the court of Sultan Mustafa II in 1703. He was later brought to a Russian ambassador who sent him to the court of Emperor Petro Alexandrovich Peter the Great. Peter saw greatness in Abram. What? Hold on, wait. Who was asked to accompany Peter in military campaigns, like many other nobles of his day. Abram studied in France in 1717, where he took up foreign language, mathematics, science, and war studies. A year later, he joined the French army, quickly rose to captain, and proved himself worthy in battle while fighting against the Spanish after sustaining an injury. He enrolled at artillery school in Metz, France. He completed his education by 1722 and returned to Russia to work as a military engineer in 1725. Following the death of Peter the Great, Prince Shovkov rose to power and exiled Abram to Siberia. However, in 1730, upon the accession of Empress Elizabeth, the daughter of Peter, Abram was pardoned and made Major General and Superintendent of Revered from 1742 to 1752. He later retired to an estate with hundreds of European slaves. Okay? With hundreds of European slaves. So we talk black people, white people. What are we talking about? What kind of slaves we talking about? What kind of slaves we talking about? So he was a black man. He was a slave owner. He was from either Europe. He was from either Ethiopia. He was from Eritrea, whatever. Some of those areas. They say he was stolen. He either from Cameroon. He could have been from Cameroon, and they say they stole him. Right? He was stolen. So let's go. And they say cannibal. Could have been cannibal. When they talk about cannibal. All right, say European slaves. And it was going on in 1742, 1752, around the same time that we were supposed to be slaves, right? So that means they were sending slaves to the Americas. Okay? All right, it say, now this woman right here is an Australian, it might not be a woman, but I don't know why I said woman. It's a Austrian named Angelo Solomon, 17 Solomon. Listen, we got to pay attention to hijack. Remember we read earlier, it could have been in this. It could have been something else too. How they would just hijack shit, they just switch stuff up, change the names, all that kind of stuff. So you got to be able to put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? Piece it together. But as we can see, and as far as I understand, as far as I with other research I've done, is that all religion and stuff like that, it comes from over there in Europe. And I think these black people are the ones that orchestrated all this stuff. And then we just got conquered. You know what I mean? As history tells it. You know, and over here as well. We were already over here as well, running things, doing our thing. And we were just interconnected, just running, doing trade and stuff already. We was already doing our thing a long time ago. All right. It's an Australian named Angelo Solomon, 1720, 1796, who said to be one of the native Central Africa. Who is said to be a native of Central Africa, where he was kidnapped at the age of, at a young age, and later presented in 1734 to Prince George Christian. So you see how these people getting stole and they get shipped to Europe. They've been stolen and taken into Europe because of the slave trade. And that's how they was coming over here. You see what I'm saying? The few they was able to catch, and some of them just became prosperous and all that too, right? But they was taking us for their purposes. Anyway, let me keep reading. It say, and then you know what? At the same time, all this hijack. They remember the dude they were saying they always just relating to them as slaves and stuff like that, but they really wasn't slaves and all that. They were going over there getting nobles from Africa. All right, it say an Austrian named Angelo Solomon, okay, who was said to be native to Central, okay, kidnapped young age, okay, 13. Okay, it said he was later presented in 1734 to Prince George Christian. All right, Christian. First, von Laberschwisk Solomon served as George's confidant. However, as he grew older, Solomon became fluent in 6 languages, was a master swordsman, navigator, and renowned music composer. So now, very educated, was a navigator, so he knew how to navigate the waters, all this kind of stuff, 1734. In his adult life, he climbed to the top of Vienna's high society and joined conquered Freemasons' lodge, where he became Grand Master and a major intellectual influence on Austrian Imperial Joseph II, Count Franz, Moritz, von Lacy, Wolfgang, Amadeus, Mozart, and Joseph Haydn. See, Wolfgang. That sound like that sounds like an Indian tribe. That's close to an Indian tribe. That Wolfgang name. All right, and y'all see what's going on. Very educated. Became a Mason. All right, became a Mason. Became a Grand Master. All that. So they was doing all that already. And you see, he got a lion on his staff as it looks. All right, as it appears. Finished school and everything. Very educated. Well, I don't know about school. I don't see nothing in school. Okay, but yeah, they already had societies. All right, but listen. All right, let's go on to the next one. It said, at a young age, Gustav Baldwin, 1750, 1822, named Kuschki at birth, was kidnapped, taken to Sweden, and presented to Queen Louisa of Prussia in 1757. Intrigued by the teachings of Louisa set out to teach Gustav how to read and write and about Christianity and its etiquette as an experiment to see if a Moorian, Swedish for Moor, could be civil. Oh man, stop that. You see how they're trying to act like they're civilizing us and all that kind of stuff? Like it's them that did it? No, stop that. Stop playing. We're already running things. They say then he was allowed to make all his own choices, unlike her other children. He later pursued, come on now, instead of her children, she would let him make his own choices. instead of her children. It don't even make sense. It said he later pursued poetry, theater, and dance, and based on his extensive library of mostly French books, was well versed in French language. Upon the death of Queen Louisa, it was Gustav whom he trusted with her personal files, perhaps to dismay of her son. In his later years, he married twice, owned two farms, and was an esteemed member of the Freemasons as well as the Swedish secret societies of Par Bricol, Syria, Ordo, and Timbers Marston. Julius Savoys, 1754-1798, was kidnapped at age 10, taken to Britain by naval CPT, Stair Douglas, and given to Duchess of Queensberry. Charmed by his intelligence and good looks, she sent Sabruccio to school, where he mastered the violin, writing, and fencing. As he grew older, he rose to prominence in London, high society, and was known for living a very lavish lifestyle. He was even featured in William Austen's Church Quarters, The Duchess of Queensborough, and Sobeys, and a Mungo macaroni. In his later days, he left England for disputable reasons and started a riding school in Calcutta, India, in 1777. You see? Come on, man, y'all tripping. Man, sitting there playing chess and all that, hanging out with that symbolic chair and all that there. They try to downplay our people, make it seem like they didn't know nothing when we was the ones teaching everything. Come on, man, everybody knows it's already. So you got to be able to find the truth out of the lie. See, they're going to tell you the truth, but they're going to mix it in with a little haterism. It's our musicians. As aforementioned, Moors frequently held the courts of European royalty, not merely as servants, but as skilled employees. All right, perhaps no other skilled workers were as highly valued to the ruling class as musicians and entertainers. Just like right now today, they say the most valuable were the musicians and the entertainers. And they say, according to the UK National Archives, Scotland's King James IV, 1473 to 1513, employed several African drummers and choreographers in 1505. And you went on, okay, they like the black people. They like black people. King James was white. He was gay and all that. No, not really. It's that King James treasurer's accounts also recorded monetary payments to several black women, including Black Eileen, 1512, a black maiden, Black Margaret, 1513, two black ladies, and Helena, the black Moor. All right? So now, it's letting you know, everybody was making money. Ain't no slave talk. It says, similarly, England's King Henry VII and King VIII's courts had African employees. The most famous was John Blake, 1500s, a musician who was paid on a daily basis and noted in the treasurer as the Chamber's accounts. His image can be seen on the UK National Archives, Westminster tournament scroll of King Henry VIII, shown at the right. The archives asserts that it was perhaps one of the most important royal galas, suggesting the high regard for John Blanket, the Blackie. Say John Blanket the Blackie. All right, but they try to make it seem as if this wasn't our stuff already. You see how they trying to finesse it? Stop playing. It's a Moor and peasant in dance. Look at that. Look what it say. It's a Moor and peasant in dance. All right, so they were the peasants. We were the kings and the queens. That's crazy. So they were our peasants. They were our workers. They were the ones doing the work for us. All right. It's a Moorish military musician in Berlin by Peter. That's what, so they came over to America and they started capitalizing, started doing us wrong. That's basically what happened. Y'all see what's going on? I should have read this all the way from the top, since I read it all the way down from there. But you can see I can go in and find the information, then see what it is, and then click on this, click on that. You know what I'm saying? Gain more about this, gain more information about that. All right, it said Moors in European Renaissance. When African Americans, commonly known as Moors, as well as other Muslims and Jews, were expelled from Iberian Peninsula by Manuel I of Portugal in 1496, and Ferdinand V and Isabella I of Spain in 1502. Some of them migrated to northern and central Europe, where they became important figures. At the same time, Western European nations, beginning with Portugal, began regularly selling long distances to trade directly with Western and Southern Africans in the route to Asia, right? Southern and Western Africans. Remember, I was telling you about the Ghana and all that kind of stuff. What they were doing slave trade and all that stuff. They said this trade included kidnapped African slaves. Look at that, kidnapped African slaves, just as the trading of slaves has existed in much of the world for centuries. So now that's what they mean about the a slave that was kidnapped or whatever. They said they went over there to West Africa and was getting those slaves that the Hanmi people um, and the Ashanti people and all them people that was enslaving each other. Right? They say this trade included kidnapped African slaves, just as the trade of slaves had existed in much of the world for centuries. Although there were many European slaves in Europe and in Africa, it had become quite fashionable for European nobles to have Africans rather than Europeans as servants. And as more Africans were servants in noble households, they were increasingly the subject of scorn in European society. So now, you remember they were saying that they was getting people, well, basically in some cases they was bringing people over from Africa to pay them. They was paying them. You see what I'm saying? They was really paying the people, letting the people have their own. You remember when they was explaining what the difference between European slavery and African slavery? How people was able to still live their life and do all these kind of things, do what they wanted to do. That's what it was. That's what it was all about. So I guess they rather to pay their own than the albinos and all that, And then I guess it's when they start going over to the old world, the new world, which they call America, and then they start putting their foot down and putting their game down. All right. So nevertheless, Europeans had held Africans in high regard for centuries prior, from the Catholic patron saint. It's a prior from the Catholic patron saint Maurice to the legendary Black Knights. Therefore, it was possible for many Africans to move to the highest echelons of society, as evidenced by historical documentation throughout Europe. Some became nobles, intellectuals, military leaders, and others respectable professions in royal courts through Europe. They became so numerous in England that Queen Elizabeth I issued a warrant, July 1597, 96, and a proclamation, January 1601, by which she expelled all black Moors from England. Okay? How did she expel something? It said the queen is highly discontented to understand the great number of Negroes and black Moors which are in England who are fostered here, to the great annoyance of her own people who are unhappy at the help these people receive, as also most of them are infidels, having no understanding of Christ. Okay? So these are the white ones. So that's when they start coming on doing their own thing. They was the white ones. They was trying to get us to understand they white Christ and all that there. And they had no understanding of none of that. And we was climbing up the ladder doing our own thing. They was sitting around hating because we was running the whole thing the whole time anyway. That's what that was. So you had one side and you had the other side. Right? They acting like they doing us some favors and all that. I'm gonna show y'all what the real deal is in a minute. It's saying after Elizabeth's reign, however, Africans were once again present and active in England and elsewhere in Western Europe. Come on now, you don't stop nothing. One monkey don't stop no show. It's a royalty and nobility. European Moors were not just servants, tenant employees in royal courts, but also royalty and nobles. Perhaps the most famous of all, the Alessandro de Medici, Duke of Penny and Duke of Florence, who was commonly known as Il Moro, Italian for the Moor. In his day, he was officially recognized as the son of the powerful Lorenzo II de Medici. 1510, 1537. Y'all see what all this stuff is? It's an unknown African woman. All right. It's Alessandro was the last Medici to rule Florence. Having assumed the throne at the age of 19, he commissioned the construction of Fortezza de Bazo, a massive fortress in the historic center of town, and as well as the other fortresses around town, purported to have had many enemies. He was assassinated by his own cousin, Lorenzo, de Messina in 1537. Okay, we read about that guy already, the painter. All right, so that's the main thing. As far as like the literature at the top. All right, so y'all see what's going on with that as we proceed and continue to rock the mic. They tell me what's up. Still ain't let me know what's up with this guy. Come out of this. See if we can find somebody else to read about right quick. Just trying to show y'all what the deal is, man. Being hijacked in a major way. Let's see what kind of history they tell us with this. Still nothing. Let me come out of this again and go back to where I was at to get to where I can the first time. I think, I don't know why everything Pinecrest. So Pinecrest got all the work. Look like Pinecrest got all the work, man. Pinecrest got all the work. But don't nobody really know about these people like that. Trying to find somebody else to look up. So we already know he wasn't Holy Roman. Nah, he wasn't white, cuz. You know what? That's what I'm gonna show y'all. I think that's what I'm gonna show y'all what this is. I got it right here. Let's go. Where we at? Let's get on back down here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Right here. I think I already went through this part. Yeah, we create such nonsense. Yeah, I ran through that already. Now check this out. Now we got the Jacobites, right? It's a Jacobite in British history, a supporter of the exiled Stuart King James, right? Second, Latin Jacobus, and his descendants after the Glorious Revolution, all right? The political importance of the Jacobite movement extended from 1688 until at least the 1750s, all right? So now watch this. You see how they got all, let me go to the pictures. Check out the pictures right quick. Now you see how they got all white people. You see that? You see it? Now watch this. Now see now it's the difference in name. See, they call them Jacobites. They call these people the Jacobites. Now watch this. Well, I only have to. I got it. I think I got it up already. I think I'm already up. So that was Jacobites. Now this was Jacobins. Now let's see who the Jacobins is. Right quick. It's a member of a democratic club established in Paris in 1789. The Jacobins was the most radical and ruthless of the political groups formed in the wake of the French Revolution and in association with the Robespierre. They instituted the Terror of 1793 and all that. Say in history, Dominican friar, got something to do with Dominicans and all that. All right. And so Middle English and Jacobin in sense too, Old French, from medieval Jacobinus, from ecclesiastical Latin, Jacobus, James. So Jacobus means James, all right? So King James, all right? The term was applied to the Dominicans in Old French on account of their church in Paris, Saint Jacques. See, Dominicans, Dominican Republic, the West Indies and all that stuff like I'm telling you about, the Caribbeans, near which they were built. They built their first convent. The latter eventually became the headquarters of the French Revolutionary Group. All right, so now let's go to the pictures right quick. Boom. Uh-oh. Look at it, they're still stealing now. Still stealing. There we go. The Black Jacobins. Hold on. Hold up. Let me put black in there. Let me put black in there. Well, let me just go and scroll them down. See, somebody got a book about it. A couple of books about it. I know who the real blacks was. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's put black in there. Let's put black don't crack. Let's put black don't crack in there, boy. See, listen, while they talk about the Haitians and all that, you see what I'm saying? They let you know who it is. They let us know what it is. Black Jacobus. Let's check them out. See all these blacks. See all these black folks. Look at it. Look at it. Let's go back to the top. Because I was expecting King James and all that to pop up. That's what I was expecting to pop up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So they talk about the Dominican Republic, they talk about Haiti, they talk about Domingo. So we captured all that stuff, and then we ended up getting defeated in Europe. And so by default, everything went to them. You know what I'm saying? Everything went to them by default. All right, Black Jacobus. Say Black Jacobus. Let's put that. Black Jacobus. Let me put more. Let me put more. Yeah, it ain't supposed to be like this. It already supposed to have been loaded up, for real. It's supposed to have been loaded up already, for real. I don't know what happened to it. Here we go. Here we go right here. See, if you look closely at the word Jacobus, top right hand, King James first is a black Israelite from the house of Jacob. That's Jacobus. Here we go. Here we go right here. Look at this. It said King James, black royalty. King James clearly what you call black. Blacks are original royalty. Jews ruled Egypt. Okay, let's check out another one. It say Jacobus right there. Here we go. Can you see that? It said Jacobus. And he was the king. It said Hebrew, Rex Jacobus, yeah. It said Kings of Scotland. He was just king of Scotland. Everybody know that. And Ireland, all of Europe. At one point, he was king on both sides. But yeah, that's him. All day. Black Britain, all that kind of stuff. All right. African Gold Coast, yeah. Everybody was trading with each other. All right. So y'all see what's going on with that. Let's see what else I got. So this one I was trying to get y'all to see. Jacobin people. I had to put in Jacobin people. I had to put in the Jacobin people to get what I was trying to find. The Jacobin people. See? So y'all trying to find it, put in the Jacobin people. And the Jacobin people are what they call the Etruscans as well. All right? Yeah, the Etruscans. All right? So now, let's see what we got next. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and hit y'all with another part on this next one because it's going to lead back into the Ashanti tribe and all that. You know what I mean? I think this one need to go ahead and get cut short because it's going to end up being too long. But yeah, y'all see what's going on. They got evidence everywhere about this stuff. We just got to look into it and stay on top of it. And as you can notice, they got a bird called Jacobin. The Jacobin bird, you know. Say confronting black Jacobins. See, getting hung. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What they talking about right here? Hold on. Let's see something. I thought I was gone. What the Jacobins got to do with Haiti? What Jacobins got to do with Haiti? They said the Haitian revolt, the Haitian revolution, the product of the first successful slave revolt, was truly world historic in its impact when Haiti declared independence in 1804 and declared and leading powers France, Great Britain, and Spain suffered an ignominious defeat, and the New World was remade. The Island Revolution also had a profound impact on Haiti's mainland neighbor, the United States. It's inspiring the enslaved and partisans of emancipation while striking terror throughout the southern slavery. It propelled the fledgling nation one step closer to civil war. It's a Gerald Horne's path, breaking Newark explorer, the complex and often fraught relationship between the United States and the island of Hispaniola. All right? So it's letting you know we was all connected. We were all one people. We knew we were one people. All right? And we were just trying to put down. They told yeah, that sparked it off and all that there. Now the whole time we was getting it in. Whole time we ain't never stopped getting it in. For real though. For real though. But yeah, they got these truths out here. Just gotta look into them. They got them out here. Just gotta look into them. But yeah, I was just trying to show the little bird right quick. But yeah, there it is. I want to show them colors and all that. Sunlight passing through the wings of the black Jacobin hummingbird. So it's a hummingbird. So they talk about the hummingbird, they even reference it to us. Man, it's crazy. All of it crazy. So we got to pay attention, know what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna set another one up. Give it a little minute to cook up another one for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, peace. Enjoy yourself. I'll holler at you.